All right, Mike here at mikesblog.com. I figured I'd make a video for this. I'm making a lot of SOPs for our amazing Shadowstone Ninjas, our team. So I won't show everything in here. If you're in our team, you'll get a little bit more resources, but I want to give you 6 tips that have been changing my life. I think I started around 2014, 2015 studying productivity, and there's a few nuggets. First of all, I do have a free book at regardingwork.com/book. You can download totally for free, no email or anything. People have enjoyed. I love productivity, and I just want to share 6 of these items for you that have changed my life for real. I have gotten so much more done. I've been so much more productive. So tip number 1, plan your day the night before. I believe it. I've heard it from famous presidents. You think when you sleep, you work when you sleep. So if I write down what I got to do the next day, like I just try to do the top 3 things. I kind of digest it. I also write it down. It's in my brain, and then the next day I've already kind of been working on it in my sleep. Tip number 2, write down on a paper journal. I love paper journals. Thank you, Christian on the team. He gave me one of my favorite Christmas gifts. We're working on this for Excalibur Brothers brand to sell on Amazon and on the web. But it's simply a paper journal. Nothing too special. You can use any kind of papers you'd like. But essentially it's a blank page, and I put the date on the top, and on the left side I write what I'm working on right now and the time I started and the time I finished. I do 30-minute sets. And on the right side I write those top 3 things that I was going to work on and finish that day that are most important for me, most important tasks. And it's been it feels good writing it down, and then I see how many did I do that day, right? I try to get 7 or 8, sometimes 9 done in the morning before lunch. It's kind of my goal. Tip 3 is I try to do Pomodoros, or I do Pomodoros. Right now I have a headset on, I have my music playing right now, and I have a 30-minute timer. This is my post and management time set, creating videos, creating SOPs. So the way I work is, you can get these if you're on our team. There'll be a link in our SOP, but if you're watching this on YouTube or on the public side, you can go to brain.fm. I'm using that right now. It's a 30 minutes non-vocal kind of like focus music. I've enjoyed that for so many years. I also use a Gym Boss here. I did a video review about that at mikesblog.com/gymboss. I'm not exercising, although I do use it for my exercise. This, I put 30 minutes on the top, a 5-minute break, and I do 7-minute sets. So the way that works is once I start my morning, it's like the hamster wheel. I can't get off. Of course, you could turn it off, but 30 minutes, I'm trying to do one of these sets I wrote down. And then I work on finishing that. If I need to do another set, I do another set of that. And then I take a 5-minute break. I get some more tea in restroom, talk to my family, maybe check my phone and reply to messages, and then I repeat 30 minutes. It's automatic. It just keeps going all morning. And I clip it on my shirt when I am on my break, and I clip it on my computer when I'm on my work set. And it's been really life-changing. Tip number 4. When I get stressed with emails, I get stressed when somebody writes me like a long text message to reply to, a messenger, etc. It used to make me feel like I have to reply right away, or I would forget. I know you can mark it unread, but the most important way for me is I put it in my next morning, 7:30 a.m. on my Google Calendar to reply to this person, to address this, to do this task, or I think of something to do. I used to get stressed because I used to have to do that right away and get distracted. But now I just put it in my next morning. I will reply to this tomorrow morning. And I add it to my list of writing and creative work for the next day. I think this helps in a few ways. 1, it gets it out of your head. 2, it's not forgotten. 3, it's put in your creative time. And it's helped me so much. So I'm sometimes taking a walk, I get a message, or I get an idea, I put in my morning calendar the next day. So that's helped me a lot. Tip number 5, decide when is your creative time and when is your management time. I think there's a famous blog post by some startup investors that says there's the maker person and a manager person in the startup. And the maker is like the developer or the artist or the creator or the person building. And the manager is the sales, the management, which I do agree with as a team, but also I think it's as an individual, I have my creative time and I have my management time. So my mornings are my creative time. I work best with my max capacity in my morning, whereas in my afternoon is when I jump into email, I jump into phone calls. If you work with me, you probably notice I don't do many morning calls, although I have been doing quite a few lately because of time zones. I try to have as minimum amount of calls and chats and management stuff in the morning, and afternoon and evening is my management time. And it's been so helpful to me. It's been really helping the left brain, right brain idea, which I do believe in, and you're much more effective. Tip number 6 and my last one, find what works best for you, but it is not about multitasking. It's about doing one thing at a time. I think if you don't take anything else from this video, multitasking is a lie. Multitasking is not true. I think another amazing thing I did is I don't have social media on my computer. Yeah, I have it on my phone, but I try not to have notifications on my computer. It's really been helpful. It stresses me out, it distracts me, and there's a saying that if you get a distraction and you check it's so hard to get back into focus. It's a muscle. I remember when I first started doing this in 2014, 2015, and I would be mentally tired at the end of this. And I've learned to get stronger in my brain. It's just like your muscle in your arm, your bicep. It gets tired, but then it gets stronger, right? So you got to keep pushing and you'll get better, but do one thing at a time and you will be amazed at your focus improving over time. And I do a million things. Everybody knows I do a million things, but I do one thing at a time and I plan it and I execute and then I do the next thing and I focus on that thing. So if you get nothing else from this video, do one thing at a time well, do the next thing well after. Thank you.